Stranger Things Season 4 is about to hit screens soon. The trailer dropped a while ago, raising more questions than answering them. Also, there were some cryptic clues hidden in the trailer that we bet you didn't notice before. So, let's do a breakdown of the much-hyped trailer that got around 18 million views on YouTube, while dishing out some inside scoop of the secret messages. First, the trailer starts with the scene that left us devastated in Season 3, the machine room that killed Hopper. The explosion of the machine under the Starcourt Mall seemingly killed Hopper, but the mid-credits scene reveals him alive in Russia, suggesting he actually went through that rift, a rift that interestingly opens on the other end to Russia. A transfer is somehow confirmed in this shot by that rift, still glowing as if it isn't yet all the way closed. The opening sound of the trailer actually sounds kind of like an evil cackle, but it also sounds like the 80s horror synth percussion that was popularized by John Carpenter's instrumentation in the Halloween movies. There's a scary voice saying, "You've broken almost everything. Your suffering is almost at an end." Who could that be? It's the villain of the season, the new monster of Season 4, whose eyes flash in this section, and we see his full monstrous humanoid form at the end of the trailer. This is Vecna, keeping in with the tradition of the Demogorgon and the Mind Flayer. How do we know that? Here's your hint: Dungeons and Dragons. Vecna is another character from Dungeons and Dragons, and this seemed obvious as the previous monsters were also inspired by the same show. The character is a longtime D&D villain, one who turned himself into a lich. A lich is a wizard who embraces undeath to cling to the mortal world, often taking the form of a skeletal humanoid with skin stretched tight over its bones. Here's the twist: Vecna didn't die with his body. Instead, his spirit lived on, and he got enough followers to be considered a minor god. As of now, we don't know exactly how Vecna is linked to the Upside Down, Demogorgons, and the citizens of Hawkins. There's a close-up showing Vecna's eyes opening blue. The Duffer Brothers said this practical makeup was done by Barry Gower, who also did the prosthetics for the Blue-Eyed Night King of Game of Thrones and the radiation victims of Chernobyl, in that it was really important for them for their boogeyman to be practical, to evoke horror villains like Freddy Krueger and Pinhead. Then, there's a clock constantly ticking. What's with the time check? The children of Hawkins are haunted by a ticking representation of how their own youth has been awkwardly drained from them over 4 seasons of streaming content. The Duffer Brothers said in their trailer commentary on IGN that this clock is a very important clue, very important to the story that they didn't want to give away. We're thinking the grandfather clock could be a kind of omen that presents itself to you as a way of saying that your time is up and the monster's coming for you. Though it sounds like this season is going to show us the origin of the Upside Down, maybe Vecna might have something to do with it. In another scene, we see the grandfather clock presenting itself to Max wedged into a school wall, possibly an indicator that Vecna has targeted her. And we do see her floating above the gravesite later. So, after Billy, is her stepsister under the influence of the Upside Down monster? Might be yes, but it's not all scary, at least. Max reads a letter to her brother Billy, who died after being possessed by the Mind Flayer last season. The group is all divided. The Byers family, Joyce, Jonathan, will relocate to California with 11, while the rest, Mike, Dustin, Lucas, Steve, Robin, Nancy, Max, and Erica, stay behind in Hawkins. Mike will at one point visit 11 in California, probably on a spring break trip. Meanwhile, of course, Hopper is in Russia. Lucas has joined the basketball team, leaving Mike and Dustin reluctantly cheering as their friend moves up the social ladder without them. 11 and Will attend Leonora Hills High School in California, while Elle tries to fit in but fails somehow. For a while, we tried to be happy and normal. We know that's impossible in Stranger Things. There's a secret connection with Chernobyl. Yes, we're talking about the worst nuclear disaster in history. Now, there are some posters celebrating the seniors as the class of '86. What you need to note here is that the Chernobyl disaster happened in April 1986, and the Duffers said they shot the Russian exteriors in Lithuania deliberately to evoke Chernobyl. They referenced Chernobyl, and we've theorized that the origin of the Upside Down could have been one of the past covered-up Soviet nuclear disasters that led to Chernobyl, one that historically we still do not know about. Now, coming to the American stuck in Russia, let's move to the shots of the prison labor camp in Kamka, where Hopper is kept walking down these train tracks we saw him working on. The editing here syncs to see Perry's vocals as he sings Worlds Apart, reflecting how all these characters, once united, are now worlds apart, both geographically and, in some cases, dimensional worlds. 11 is again the frontline warrior. "I'm afraid your friends at Hawkins are very much in the eye of the storm." These are the lines by Dr. Sam Owens, the great Paul Reisner, returning from Season 2, and we later see him talking to 11 at a diner. He also hinted at an upcoming war, and gave us literal goosebumps. 11 reminded him that she no longer has her powers, which she lost in their final battle against the Mind Flayer last season. But the war Dr. Owens is referring to might just be the Cold War, which did heat back up in the 80s. We kind of thought that 11's government experiments might have just been an American countermeasure to build up these psychic super soldiers to combat Soviet bioweapons, aka the Demogorgon and the Demo Dogs. It looks like 11 is being detained and forced back into the front lines of whatever that fight was. There you go, girl. There's a mysterious parcel for Joyce. Joyce receives a package with a ton ton of stamps from the USSR. We don't think Hopper would be in a position to send her this kind of mail, but we do think this may have been sent to her by Murray Bowman, whom we last heard in his outgoing voicemail message telling Joyce that he found something interesting. We're guessing that the interesting thing is that Hopper is still alive. Meanwhile, back in Hawkins, kids visit the Creel house, home of Victor Creel, a guy who murdered his family in the 50s. Here is the craziest detail of the trailer that you probably missed. The most insane detail of the trailer comes at 1 minute and 59 seconds. You gotta pause it at the exact frame where it reveals this cosmic image with a series of timestamps and lightning striking through it. There are 4 numerical time codes: 146, 033, 230, and 052. Okay, this could mean all kinds of things, but we think this applies to time frames in the trailer. At 146, we see Mike watching Eleven get driven away in a prison car. At 2:30, we see the D-nerd Eddie Munson greeting us. 0:33 was the shot of Billy's gravestone, and at 0:52, Dustin and Mike were at the game. So if you go chronologically through this trailer, at 33 seconds, the one with 3 white portals, those line up with the letters I, A, and M on Billy's gravestone. And then 0:52, the portal lines up with hell on Mike's shirt. At 1:46, that tiny little portal lines up with the H and I of Leonora Hills. And 2:30 lines up with the Master of the Dungeon Master screen flyer. So if we're right about this altogether chronologically, the frame would spell out I am hell, hi Master, or if we were to go from left to right, top to bottom, regardless of the order of these showing up in the trailer, the phrase would be hi, I am Hellmaster. Amazingly clever. If you want to see this hidden message, you would need to squint your eyes real hard to spot that one. Whether our theory is right or not, one thing is for sure, we would be seeing a lot of horror and dark streak of the HBO show in Season 4. The creators hinted some while ago that the upcoming season is going to be the biggest and most frightening season yet, and they cannot wait for everyone to see it. Matt said that the upcoming season would have a lot of revelations because they wanted to really give the audience some answers to their boiling questions. Also, if you believe Matt, there's no episode in Stranger Things Season 4 that is less than 1 hour. While you got some 35-minute episodes in Season 1, it's part of history now. Season 4 is going to be double the length of any season, and we can't wait to binge watch it. Can't wait for the season to drop already. And that's a wrap for this video. So, what do you think of the cryptic message in the trailer? Did you notice anything else that we might have missed? Do let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button for more videos like this. See you in the next one.